lifts of Kakashvili, the Olympic champion at 90 kilos. Remember, today's weight, 91 kilos. After the Olympic Games, all the weights readjusted for last year's World Championships, and this was the 90 kilo category. So Kakashvili, his opening lift. Now, some people regard him as not exactly the master of the snatch, but having said that, he actually is the world record holder. Some way to go yet before he reaches 185.5 though.
Yes, an exciting lifter. Won the Olympic Games in 1992. Only snatched 177.5, so was 12.5 kilos down after the snatch at the Olympics, but then came through on the clean and jerk with a huge weight of 235 kilos, which not only gave him the gold medal, but also a world record. So, although not snatching some of the weights that perhaps Petrov and Chukharov will be dealing with, still a man to watch out for.
Yes, don't write him off, even if it doesn't go well in the snatch. Oh, that's much better at 172.5 there for Belatsky. Took a little bit more time and got the lift in. Belatsky, 90.38 kilos body weight. Kakashvili, 90.30. So it's Kakashvili at the moment who has the lead as Alexander Popov comes onto the stage. Third and final lift. He's actually lighter than Kakashvili. Oh, that's a very, very difficult thing to do. To commit and then change your mind.
Yes, and looked to be having problems with leg strength. Very unusual to see a lifter struggling to stand up from a snatch. So I really wonder what kind of a clean and jerk this man will have. Because, of course, the clean and jerk, the lift where strength is very important.
Yes. Use enough energy doing that, but dipping down for a second squat, not really the way to progress. 177.5 on the bar at the moment for Kakashvili. I remind you that we've yet to see the defending world champion Ivan Chukharov, or the heir apparent, as they say in Russia, Alexei Petrov.
Yes, and of course, lifting for Greece, Kakashvili, Olympic Games represented Georgia.
Well, in fact, the Olympic Games, he's moved around quite a bit. At the Olympic Games, he was part of the United team. Then he lifted in the Worlds last year for Georgia, and now he's taken another aeroplane to Greece. This is, well, I was about to say he wasn't going to do it, but as you said, he's a little unpredictable, and he really controlled that.
Yes, really did well. Now, at this point, looking up. Now, if you look up, there's a tendency to lose the weight behind, but did well to control, and of course, every kilo counts on this lift for Kakashvili, because he's very good on the clean and jerk, so he'll be looking to get as much as he can out of himself on this lift.
And just look at the end here, when he does finally raise the bar up, or raise his body up. You see that little smile there of satisfaction, having pulled it back from a near loss. So 177.5 for Kakishvili, and that's the weight that this man, Viktor Bielatsky, is now trying. So this is to stay in second place. Well, that's where he does stay. He's left with 172.5. So at 177.5 kilos, in comes Alexei Petrov. Our first view of him for the evening. Petrov, 27 junior world titles to his credit in the last 3 years. An elbow injury kept him out of last year's World Championships at Melbourne. Like so many, he's in the army. But doesn't do too many military duties. Now, watch this for an opener.
Oh, doesn't he look good? Well, there's 177.5 on the board, but just looking at that, yes, I was just about to say, just looking at the bar, I could see that there was 180 kilos loaded. So, these snatching weights now nearing 400 pounds.
Yes, we're 5.5 kilos off the world record at the moment. The man now on stage, the defending world champion, lifted 185 kilos last year to take the title. Ivan Chakarov. And worth remembering that he is heavier than Petrov.
Well, that's the best I've seen Chakarov for a while.
So Kakashvili coming in for his third and final lift. We almost thought that he wasn't going to enter at all. His name appearing on the wait list really at the last minute. Didn't win the World Championships last year. It was Chakarov who did. Kakashvili, who lifted for Georgia then, ended up with the silver medal overall. So he now has to probably do what you suggested a little bit earlier, David, save the day on the clean and jerk.
Well, interesting to note that 177.5 was the weight that he snatched at the Olympics. And he followed that up with a world record of 235 kilos on the clean and jerk. So I wonder if he can produce those kind of lifts today.
Well, the significance of this moment should not be lost on you. We are going to see a world record attempt by Alexei Petrov. He's attacking the world record of Kakishvili. The bar just half a kilo over the existing world record at 186 kilos. This his second lift, so he could go further. And a real battle between him and Chakarov now. the two men who are fighting for gold. Oh, this man is impressive. He's delivering what we expected and hoped for.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody break the world record with such ease.
And doesn't even bother to hang around on stage. He's straight off to focus on the next lift. So we have a new world record. But will that be good enough? Now, interestingly enough, Chakharov is going for 185 because in the battle for the gold medal for the individual snatch, that extra kilo that Petrov has lifted doesn't actually count. What's also interesting is that Chakharov is still the heavier man, not by much, by just about 0.8 of a kilo. So the third lifts are going to be very interesting indeed. $105 kilos, 185 I should say, to Chakharov. Quite happy to concede world record attempts at this moment to Petrov, but surely he's going to have a crack at it next time round.
Yes, Chakharov really approaching the form that he had in 1990. 92 had an illness, so didn't really do very well in the Olympic Games. So nice to see him returning to his old form.
Yes, he said before the competition he thought that he could lift 400 kilos in total, but was concerned that he might be 10 kilos or so too low to take the title. We'll have to wait and see as the bar goes to 187.5 for the second world record of the evening. Alexei Petrov on stage. And he can't do it. And it's not often that you see a Petrov failure.
So now leaves Chakharov the option of taking 187.5 for the gold and a new world record. Yes, Petrov looking very, very strong with the 186, but not really getting enough height, surprisingly, on the 187.5.
So Chakharov could really turn this form book upside down now. But no, 187.5, too much for him, and it means that Alexei Petrov wins the gold medal for the snatch by virtue of body weight. Although he's set a new world record, and Chakharov fails to win or lift that weight of 187.5, it's the difference at the end of the snatch of 0.5